Hi friends, my name is Bhavya Mangla. I'm IATF qualified auditor doing audit for the automotive sector for the last 19 years. I'm again back with a very interesting topic in my series of training and HR. And today I'm going to talk about what exactly is on-job training. And by the time this session will end, you will come to know what exactly is OJT, what is the purpose of OJT, how to give the on-job training, what are the key benefits that an organization can get when they are providing on-job training, what are the disadvantages, and what are the key industry challenges with respect to on-job training. Well, in our day-to-day life, you can often see that we are doing something with respect to on-job training. You must think about your early childhood when your father or your mother was helping you to ride a bicycle, and they were helping you that on the two wheels how you can drive. Or maybe later on when you are learning how to cook something in the kitchen, at that time the mother is helping, telling what to do, what not to do, and different things which are happening at that time. Something similar happens in the environment of the industry also, wherein there are different ways in which on-job training is being provided. The key objective of giving on-job training is that a person should understand at first hand that how a particular thing is happening, what are the problems which are happening there, and how to resolve that. And generally this particular on-job training is given by an experienced person who helps a trainee to understand the gaps and to find out what is the right way of doing it. And in general, these on-job trainings can be maybe for a day, a week, a month, depending upon the criticality of the process, depending upon any legal requirement, or depending upon the skill of that person, and based on that it is being done. Let's take an example that maybe you have decided that in the automotive sector we generally employ the contract workers with respect to any manufacturing process, and there when we are employing the contract workers, the attrition rate is always very high. So what to do? So maybe regularly some on-job training is being provided to the people so that they can understand what to do and how to do that. Now there are different kind of on-job trainings. So primarily there are 4 different types in which on-job training can be given. It can be an unstructured training, a structured training, maybe it can be just a standalone training, or it can be a blended training. To talk first about the structured training. When we are talking about structured training, primarily the intent is that there is a very specific requirement to have a defined skill, a purpose that why something has to be done, and for that particular purpose it is important that an experienced person handholds and tells that person that what to do, what not to do, what are the safety requirements, what are the things that should be taken care, so that customer requirements can be taken care. Now second, when we talk about unstructured training, so primarily here our intent is that maybe the work or the skill is not very required and it is just a routine work that is being done. For example, just simply loading the material, maybe transferring the material from one location to another. And the third type is with respect to a standalone training. Now these are the training wherein the objective is just to understand how the job has to be done, and maybe sometimes job shadowing, wherein you are just watching somebody how that person is doing a job, you are just seeing that, and based on that you can learn that. Something happens in the molding process, assembly process, wherein you just review, see how the things are happening, and based on that you learn that. And the fourth and the most important thing is the blended type of learning. Now here the main objective is that it is not easy to learn everything primarily on the job. So maybe there can be some videos, maybe some seminar, maybe some online training in addition to the on-job training, and based on that you learn. For example, when ERP is being implemented in an organization, so it is not only the on-job training which is required, but apart from that some sort of a classroom training is also required at that time. Now one very important thing to understand is that there are different ways in which we can learn. Some people learn when something is visual to them, you display something and they learn it. Sometimes you need some structured way of training, maybe a classroom, and there you learn that. And many times it happens that you just give some instructions, one person goes through that instruction, and then on that basis a person learns. So depending upon the way in which a person wants to understand, it can be decided that what kind of training needs to be given. But when we talk about primarily about the on-job training, here the intent is that we want to give a real life experience to that person so that that person can understand how that thing is being done. And one very important thing about on-job training is that at that time we are using the same kind of tool, measurement equipment, work instructions, so that when a person is actually going really for the job, that person does not feel any difference. And generally this kind of training is given by some experienced person. Then it brings a very interesting question that when it is required to give on-job training. So maybe when there is a new person who is joining, that may be the requirement. Any job rotation is there, that could be another possibility. Whenever any 4M change is there, man, machine, material, method, at a very good possibility that maybe some sort of a training is required, or maybe any coaching or mentoring is required. That can be the possible reason that we need to provide on-job training. Now that brings another important thing, that what are the key benefits that organization can get in case they provide on-job training. So there are many. So let me list some of them. The first and the foremost is about the knowledge management bank. Once a person is giving training, so that person is transferring the knowledge to another person, so it is good for the organization. Then it's also important that when an on-job training is being given, it gives a real life experience to the person. The adaptation to the new job is comparatively higher. The person also feel happy that somebody is helping that person to learn a new thing, so retention also improves. When there is a teamwork and one person is helping the other person to learn something new, so that also leads to the team building. And certainly it's also a good financial benefit to the organization, because now the organization does not have to spend too much time on planning something, removing the people from the routine work, going to a proper place and then learn something, but it can be done online when they are working on their job. But there are few disadvantages also with respect to on-job training, even though the advantages are much more than. The first and the foremost disadvantage is that whenever there is a requirement of any critical skill, so then it requires a lot of time and money, so it may not be a good idea to give on-job training. Then secondly, it also impacts the routine work, because somebody who is a skilled worker, they have to spare some time and give the on-job training, so productivity can also hamper. It can also be a safety hazard and may lead to some injury, and certainly there can be some loss of hazard in case there is any misuse. And lastly, to talk about the key industry challenges, the first and the foremost is how often it is there that there is a structured way in which on-job training is being given. That is something important to see. Secondly, even if we are giving on-job training, how often it happens that we verify that whether it is effective or not. And third, and the most important thing is how often it happens that the on-job training is actually given by a competent and a qualified person, and not by anyone who is just giving a training just for the heck of it. So if I do a summary, I talked about what exactly is on-job training, why on-job training is important, what are the different ways in which on-job training can be given, what are the key benefits, where on-job training needs to be done, what are the possible disadvantages of on-job training, and what are the key industry challenges. My next topic will again be in line of this particular series of HR and training, and there I'm going to talk about dojo room. Dojo room is a Japanese word, and you will learn more about it in my next video. Well, regularly I'm getting a lot of feedback from your side, and they are helping me to understand your expectation. So please do continue that. And in case you want to understand a little bit more about this video, you'll find a link below. If you click that, you'll find a blog there, and there you'll find this information in much more detail. And in case you're liking these kind of videos and blogs, you can always share with your friends and colleagues, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and my website bhavyamangla.com. Thank you.